Our 19 First Alert meteorologist Erika Paige is here. We had storms earlier today. I know in southern Cuyahoga County, looking outside of my window, the winds and rain, it was pretty wicked out there.
Yeah, we had a lot of heat and humidity that built in once again, and when you had that cold front coming through, we knew it would be a focus for some of those storms. Thankfully, this evening, things are starting to quiet down a little bit for us. You can even see from our Madison camera, we've got a couple peaks of blue sky trying to mix in with some of those clouds. The clouds will still largely be a decent feature for a lot of us headed into the next couple of hours, but at least we're trending a little bit drier. That is a nice kind of welcome to the end of the work week, start to the weekend. It's been a pretty active weather week, and certainly we've got more on the way headed into this weekend, but at least we get the next couple of hours where things are a little quieter. Rain for our southern counties returns after 10 p.m. tonight, and eventually that rain will become more widespread, reaching into our northern counties, and really it just kind of kickstarts what's going to be a very soggy, cool, and just overall breezy weekend as this area of low pressure just struggles to clear out of our area for the next several days. Yes, several days. Temperatures right now are sitting still upper 60s to about low 70s. We haven't really lost a lot of that heat just yet, and we still have a couple of those isolated showers trying to mix in one lone thunderstorm across southern Medina County. But again, I don't anticipate a lot of this is going to hold together super well just because we're waiting on that cold front to still sweep through, and it should limit the overall severe potential, especially as we get into those overnight hours. We'll walk you through what you can expect hour by hour coming up in just a few minutes.
Meteorologist Erika Paige, can we please have a dry weekend?
I wish we could. I will say, though, it doesn't look like each and every one of these days is a complete washout, but I will say largely the forecast is going to be pretty soggy. So we'll see what we can do. We'll take breaks, kind of like what we're dealing with right now for the most part, across Northeast Ohio at any point during the weekend. And I think that'll allow some folks to get out, enjoy some of the nicer, well, sort of nicer weather. It's going to definitely be a little bit cooler across our area, but you will get at least a couple of those breaks trying to work back in. So we've got a couple showers, an isolated storm out there. I'll show you where that is here in just a second, but the more steady rain starts to move in as we head through the overnight hours. This is all behind the cold front now at this point, so temperatures will be much cooler as we wake up early tomorrow, and you're just going to see multiple rounds of rain working their way through our area as this big upper level area of low pressure continues to rotate through. Now, we have the cold front, and you can almost pick out exactly where it is because you can just follow some of these showers and those isolated storms still moving through our area. The one storm that we have has pulsed up, trying to take advantage of the temperatures into the 60s to low 70s. But it's likely not going to last super long just because, yes, you've got a couple lightning strikes in there, but you're already dealing with an atmosphere that's seen some rain and some storms. Yes, the cold front helps to focus some of this activity, but the trend that we've seen with a lot of these showers is that they'll pulse up and then they'll start to rain themselves out, and they just don't last very long. We'll see. Now that we're getting closer to sunset, we'll watch things closely, but I just don't think we're going to have a huge opportunity to really hold on to a great rain chance, at least for the next couple of hours. It's once we get into the later part of tonight, moisture starts to build south of US 30, and that's going to be our main feature overnight tonight, headed into early tomorrow morning. Now, where you see some of these brighter colors, that's the potential of having a couple rumbles of thunder in the mix as we're bringing in some of that cooler air. But for the most part, I mean, this is just going to be a steady rain that just lingers with us through the overnight, headed into the early part of your Saturday. Now, I said this is likely not going to be a complete washout. You'll notice that as we approach the midday hours tomorrow, a lot of the guidance tries to clear us out. Even if it is just for a couple of hours, I really think that's probably going to be your driest time that we'll have through the day. And then we're tracking yet again another wave of some of that more steady rain that will move through late during the afternoon, through the early part of the evening. And you've got, yes, a third wave that comes through late Saturday night, headed into early Sunday. And this one will stick around a little bit longer for us. And you'll notice how these showers are rotating through from east off to the west. Low pressure systems rotate counterclockwise. That's exactly what you're going to see as the system just continues to impact the area into the second half of the weekend. Now, I will say second half of the day on Sunday may be the best opportunity to catch a couple peaks of sunshine, dry things out briefly, but we may get a secondary batch of storms that rolls in late Sunday evening, so that is something we will have to keep an eye on. Don't expect it to be severe, but again, you could get a more organized storm in the mix. So it just bears watching second half of the weekend. By Monday and Tuesday, we're still dealing with these ongoing showers, but at least by this point, temperatures are starting to recover. And that's hopefully a trend that we can hold on to, especially when we look ahead towards Mother's Day weekend. We'll talk a lot more about this bigger